Hi, good morning. Andy Taylor here with Red Rock Roofing. I'm here at 5312 Gallatin here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm going to do a quick inspection video for the roof. Bear with me briefly. I'm going to apologize ahead of time in the length of this video because there's a lot to detail for this roof. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that the home is missing drip edge flashing. Drip edge by code is a 2x2 inch L-shaped flange going here over the fascia and back onto the shingle, and that just simply encapsulates all the eaves and rakes of the home and is protectant of wind-driven rain, ice damming, runoff, and ultimately water migration. So as soon as I set my ladder up, you can see that there was a break already here in a non-seamless gutter. The fact that these corners here all have this connection means that it's not seamless. So with that, the next thing I want to point out is going to be there's a felt paper under here, and it's actually a 30-pound felt paper, but you can see how easily that ripped away, and that coming out from underneath the roof is never good. But with that felt paper is a valley metal. The valley metal is really designed to keep penetrating ice damming from really getting through this valley that itself is not done very well as well. That this is how they used to do valleys back probably 15-20 years ago. On top of that, there's also a membrane here that's put on top of that valley. So with that, it's 3 different layers of something going on here, and I'm going to show you with the valley the problem with that. But the home has massive heat blistering. This heat blistering is really when air is trapped inside the attic space and it has to force its way through the shingles. There's zero ventilation on this garage part. There's minimal ventilation on the home altogether. But I'm going to show you massive amount of heat blistering all over this roof. And just right here at the first eave, you can see it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is all the nail heads that are popping out, and especially in this valley, like I said, not done very well. Again, massive heat blistering going up this valley. These nail heads, when they start to emerge from the surface and they come out like so, they become very vulnerable penetration points for water to get in and migrate. Now I want to show you the valley metal goes down here, which means that these nail heads are in the valley metal, giving penetration points for water to migrate underneath. With that, these nail heads are emerging from the surface all the way up this valley. Now I'd give this roof at least 15-20 years old, and if we can get 15 to 20 years out of a roof here in Colorado, we're doing really good. Headwall metals that have nails that are coming out, wind-driven rain is actually putting water up in there, and then all of these seams that are unsealed, these nails that are unsealed, again can become vulnerable penetration points for water to migrate. So I am finding all over the place that nails have emerged from this roof in a massive amount. So, you know, when this roof was done, it was probably beautiful. And I'm willing to bet that, you know, after the roof got done, homeowners were happy and just loved to see it. So again, the heat cracking, or I'm sorry, heat blistering that's on here is just extensive across the roof. So the home again is missing drip edge flashing anywhere on the home. So nothing on the rakes, nothing on the eaves as well. The ventilation on here is absolutely lacking. With just these 2 turtle vents is not letting out air enough at all around this roof that you can see in the ridge, the heat blistering that is there as well. So a lot of these vents though have been sealed up in the past with some silicone because they've leaked. I mean, that's really the only telltale for it. So I'm going to continue. Again, nail heads that are all exposed and coming out all over the roof here. This boot jack itself has been lifting for a while and is all rusted out. And really because that's just what happens with old metals that are there. This boot jack is definitely open and letting water in. I will try to keep this to a minimum and go even a little bit faster. The ventilation again is minimal. So for this entire space right here, there's only 2 of these box vents. And again, all these nail heads that are coming out because they have to force their way through the shingles. Now right around here, around the skylights, you can see that there's so much granule loss on a lot of these shingles that are here. I think that these shingles could be different than the original shingles that are here, and they're just thinner. They're taking heat even worse than most that's out here. The rain cap and flue still looks like it's doing good, but you can see that the silicone that's been put on behind it is definitely having a problem. There is zero ventilation up here on this part until you get over what I believe is probably the master bedroom. There is now a ridge vent that doesn't go end to end. It just goes across this part of it. I'm willing to bet that maybe there's a bathroom here that needs to have condensation and air that exits out of the roof. This is a newer vent, which leads me to believe it is a bathroom, but you can see all the silicone that's put on around it to try and make sure that it's sealed. With that, this boot jack's not bad, but as I get to the back part of this, we start seeing what's called silvering. Silvering is where the bottom of the shingles have lost granules and now fiberglass is starting to show through. That's another telltale sign of ventilation issues. The ridge itself, what I want you to notice is right here somehow where the air is coming out, it's already dry in these areas by that ridge vent. But back here, the roof is all completely still wet. That is a ventilation issue throughout the home. The gutters don't look like they're doing too bad other than the front one that's there. There's not a lot of problems out here as far as boot jacks, but this one is absolutely the worst where it's actually open and you can see it. Again, nail heads. So not a lot more to bring to your attention. In my professional opinion, this roof has definitely lived its life. It does need a full replacement. There isn't any hail up here. There isn't any wind damage up here to try and get insurance involved, but it's definitely a really old roof that needs a replacement. So Andy Taylor here with Red Rock Roofing. I very much appreciate the opportunity to get out here and to bring you up to speed. I'm going to go ahead and sign off.